Oh, hi, Instagram. It's Steve, and this is Dear Comics. This is a show where stand-up comedians sample craft beers and give advice, and we've been doing it all pandemic long, and we're going to keep doing it until our lawyers overturn the results of Pitch Perfect 2. And we're also our lawyers are taking a strong look at the result of the fiddle contest in The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And we're not sure what we're going to do, but we're looking strongly at the 100 Years' War. We're not sure the English won it. We think it was rigged, or at least we should go 2 out of 3. I mean, what's another 200 years among friends, or I guess historic adversaries? Anyway, tonight I'm very excited that we're doing this late. And even a little later, as I fumbled outside here in the cold in Colorado. But wherever you are, I hope you're safe. I hope you're being remote and distant, at least with your loved one, because that's what I've been living with. And I'm looking forward to seeing my good friend Chuck Roy join and review a beer from Yonder Brewing Company. And Emily Cornelius is also going to join and give her thoughts on the same. And we also will have a beer tonight from the Odyssey Beerwerks in Arvada, California. And wherever you are, wherever you're listening, I hope you I hope you sample the craft beers available to you, because people are working hard and it's difficult, but the right people are following the rules and should be rewarded even in a difficult time. So, hey, everybody, I'm glad you could join. Let me see if I can get Chuck to join here in Colorado, or it was, and we're fortunate. I'm waiting for Chuck to join, and there he is. Well, I don't know. Actually, he's camouflaged.
Oh, hey, everybody. Hey. Just over here getting ready to go to Melania Trump's White House party.
Oh, that'll be a good one. Icy, but fun.
It's going to be really fun. I'm going to bring Vicks Vapor Rub so I can breathe clearly.
That's good. Yeah, I think that's that's great. Chuck, did you have a good Friday? Good Friday. I guess it's a Black Friday. Those are different.
Steve, I did have a good Friday and a good Black Friday. And my team of attorneys are going to recount whether or not I had fun at the Dirty Christmas show. I'm saying I did, but they're saying there's hundreds of thousands of votes in Georgia that somehow say I didn't have fun. And I think that's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I thought I was having fun, and then Hugo Chavez's ghost told me I wasn't, and he would know.
Right. And I'm glad, to be a proud Republican these days. Finally, someone is going to overturn that damn 1980s hockey outcome and give the victory back to the rightful owners, the Russians, clearly the country the Republican Party supports the most.
Well, they make great gasoline, Chuck. So,
right. Boy, they really do. That place is
a great pageant, too, I'm here. I hear that's a humdinger, actually.
Right. They're excellent at meddling in elections and, causing controversy. But,
Chuck,
Steve, they can't impact this show.
No. They will shower you with accolades, or maybe not accolades, but something else. Hey, yeah, more important.
78 quart of beer here called Stay at Your Table. I think we're waiting on the ill-tempered gnome, right?
We're waiting on that. Tonight we're going to have the Psycho Penguin, which is one of my favorite Talking Heads songs. So
right. Yeah. So hold the Joe Pesci jokes and bring on jokes about famous hockey players from Pittsburgh.
Right.
I did look up the 3 most famous hockey players in Pittsburgh, and they play for the Bruins. Okay. Steve, I want to recap that you got me this for 2020. This will be coming around at the year end. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Look at that, folks. We're ahead on beers here at Dear Comics, and I'm not even sure what this one is. Einstock.
That's we're going to
Perfect.
Iceland, Chuck.
Yeah,
It's people have wanted us in Iceland. Nobody in
right.
Iceland,
The
but we're
New
going to do
Year's
it.
show. Sorry to interrupt. You're right. People want us in Iceland. They listen on the podcast. If you're listening on the Spotify, boy, you're just seeing what happen to be two extremely handsome,
Yeah.
individuals and an Augie Doggy sighting. So never mind us. You got to see Augie Doggy. Well, I'm going to pop this guy open
I
because this is
will
the one
too.
we're starting with. Okay.
Oh, that
Um,
sounds good. I do
right.
this.
I'm just going with my tradition of never being able to open one of these without putting 1 ounce on the floor.
I've heard
I
that
like
about
to
you,
put
Chuck.
I like to pour out 1 ounce for all the Dear Comics guests who were on before me.
Oh, that's quite noble and touching.
Fuck those guys, Steve. It's all about me.
Chuck, we're going to
Um,
have some great guests coming up, by the way, including tonight, obviously, you and Emily and me. But I'm excited. I think Brad Galley's going to join us for a special Friday episode.
oh, that's fun.
Uh,
I hope Brad is able to join. That's terrific. He's so funny. And, Emily, that's the title of the after party. So you just be careful in the comments section.
and so
Uh,
over Yonder Brewing, again, it's one of my favorite places, easy to find, tough to beat. But it's in Golden, Colorado, not far from Fossil Trace Golf Course. If you ever come out here, it's great to play golf among the fossils. I'm talking about your fellow players. They're pretty old.
right.
And this one is a West Coast style table IPA, Chuck.
Oh, a table IPA. That is probably fancy. I assume when I go to those nightclubs and hot spots that always want, the celebs, the B guests from Dear Comics get invited, and I gotta walk the red carpet. Your publicist sends me because you won't go,
No.
and I get it. I get it. That's the life of a Dear Comics guy.
Chuck, you reminded me of one of the things I missed the most during this pandemic is not showing up for lunches with people. I miss that.
The things we used to do.
It's not the same to blow somebody off when you never had an appointment in the first place.
Right, right. It's the man. Like I remember taking straight guys to Irish bars. It was like a hot first date.
Chuck, a table beer actually, it's interesting. I wondered about what a table beer was because I was thinking,
Steve, I wondered too, and then I thought Steve Young is the host of this show, and he's gonna find out what a table IPA is.
and surprisingly, or maybe not, it doesn't mean much other than it's generally lighter in alcohol, easier to have sort of like at the lunch table or during the day. And I was thinking it was like a PowerPoint thing. You had to put it in a table and bore people before you could drink it. But it's
Right,
not
like
that.
a pivot table.
Yeah, exactly. But this one has 4 different hops in it, and it's 3.8 ABV. So the
4
least that
different
you take
hops.
a pathogen. I missed that too.
Wow, 4 different hops, 2 skips, and 1 jump. I assume.
Yeah, and look, the 48 IBUs, which means it's right in the middle there, but it doesn't actually taste bitter to me at all. This one's light and sudsy and delicious.
Right, this beer should have an atomic number.
It's the beer we should have been having last week when, I don't know about you, Chuck, but I actually wound up under the table after
I'm
the.
still drunk from the 11% ABV beer that we had last week. And then, do you remember the raspberry kettle corn we got from Brewability? I put that in with my turkey.
Oh, you got your turkey drunk before you took it, before you stuffed it. That's your move.
Right, right. No dried turkey in my house. It's shit-faced.
I love it. I love it. You know, it's an interesting, and by the way, we got the whole Colorado. I got snow to keep the beer cold, Chuck. So we are living.
Oh, that's cool. That's
living the beer
cool.
commercial.
Right. I just traditional ice cubes. I've got snow for the party later, but you told me not to show that on camera. You know the kids.
No, save that for the trip to Iceland. I want to be
Right,
alert.
folks. Those of you listening on the podcast, you just don't see that I'm clearly too fat to not do cocaine. Or to do cocaine. People get it. I just, that's not my drug. Holy cow. Either way, Steve, a table beer. I think that's, I think it's pretty cool. The artwork is really cool on this one. I've loved the Over Yonder beer artwork.
Yeah, I do too.
It's like a Grateful Dead poster had a string cheese incident.
And well, you could bring, that would be good, some string cheese at the table. The please state your table name obviously is meant to encourage people to follow the rules and try not to get COVID, which here in Colorado, at least, we're having trouble with that, Chuck. I don't know if you heard, we actually have a governor with COVID, and we have a football team where none of the quarterbacks, we don't have any quarterbacks this week.
Right. Steve, that's been the issue with the local football team for about 7 to 10 years now.
Yeah, so fortunately we're used to it. It's the old, I'm sure we could bring in Tim Tebow.
Sure,
so again,
why not?
Yeah.
Just ask the ref to gently toss the ball to the defense, and that'll simulate your average quarterback.
So, Chuck, where would you you get around, even virtually. Virtually, you do a lot of traveling.
Yes, I do, Steve. I think I know what you're asking me, and I gotta tell you, I'd like to have this beer right where they're signing the Magna Carta. Just right at that table.
Yeah.
And so I could, lean over and help with the spelling.
Yeah, and right, you would want a light ABV because you don't want to mess up the Magna Carta. I mean, I think that
right. Yeah.
You get one chance.
No. Right, and this feels like if I spilt a little, it wouldn't really ruin the document. Not like that elk tree we drank last week. That'd turn everything just dark and shady. Wouldn't be able to read it no more.
Yeah. I mean, if all we had was a writ of habeas corpus just because we drunk too much, that would be a bummer.
Right. Speaking of writs of habeas corpus, that's the title of the invitation to my after party. Anyway.
That's terrific, Chuck.
Steve.
Yeah.
It's a light beer, and let's not tease. When breweries say it's a light beer, it's still going to be like twice the, ABV of those beers that compete for space in your supermarket store shelf. Right? So this one is going to be, you're not going to want to drink and drive on this dog. This is a good beer. I got to ask you, Steve, other than drinking and driving with this beer, where would you drink a beer like this?
Boy, that does leave a little room. And I do love to drive a dog. Chuck, I was thinking a table beer. I'm thinking of carpentry. I'm thinking of the fine art of woodworking and craftsmanship. And I was thinking if I were someone who made tables and I finally had my big break and I tried to make a really important table where the leader of the free world could bellow instructions at the press and say hi to military people he woke up in the middle of the night. And I had accidentally made that table quite tiny, such that the leader of the free world looked foolish because he was actually wedged into said table. I think I want to come home and have this stay at your table IPA because, frankly, the president's going to have to stay at that table until he drops about 10 pounds and they can pry him out.
Right, right. Maybe when they make the Big Mac light, he'll be okay. You know, drop 30 pounds or wait another, what, 40 some odd days? What are we, 50 days away from that clown? That's terrific.
I just picture the two guys in a truck carrying that little desk out with him sort of still stuck to it. I think that would be a good image for me anyway.
Right. I assume that's going to take several Secret Service agents, and I wonder if any of them don't have COVID. So hopefully we have enough of a crew. You know, I think that's a good place to drink this beer, Steve. You really, I want to table that motion, but I think it should pass.
So, yeah, and speaking of tables, I looked down at my table and was reassured it's still here and I'm facing the right direction. But we have a question, Chuck, and I don't know if you have...
Steve, you might want to double check, you know, are you sure there aren't attorneys knocking on the door saying we have 2 questions and not 1? Are there a bunch of questions waiting for us at the post office that won't get mailed?
No, no, but there's a team of census workers wandering around out behind me. They're going to count this question over and over.
Oh, that's good, Steve. That's great.
Chuck,
you know.
And there, I do have a team of attorneys standing by. If they don't like our answer, you know, they will try to set it aside and put in one that makes more sense. You know, something that involves dead dictators and computers and people rigging an election to vote for Republicans down the ballot, but Joe Biden at the top. Something that, you know, makes more sense than what we're about to say. So,
right. Well, it's, you know, it's like Rudy Giuliani with some tie-dye going down the side of his cheek.
He's had
What can you do?
He's not had a great year either. You know, I would almost feel sorry for him if I hadn't seen the second Borat movie. So and if I didn't know he'd married his cousin, and if I'd never heard him before or seen him or knew anything about him, I would feel sorry for him, but I don't.
Right.
So Chuck, here's the question.
Oh, good.
Dear Comics, 6 feet or more from the bar, staying at the table. Yeah, that is us. Am I real, or am I a claymation figure in a holiday classic? So Chuck, that I don't know if you've ever had that problem.
I have, and what I had to do is put one foot in front of the other.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon I was just walking across that floor. Or. I just put the one foot in front of the other.
Uh-huh.
And then the director would yell, "Cut!" And the clapboard would come down, and they would move my little clay arms and legs a little bit more. And then the director would yell, "Action!" And they'd shoot that, and I'd be like, "We'll be walking out the door, cut!" And then they move my arms a little more, and I sing the song some more. And that, if you're a claymation stop action kind of thing,
then that's how you tell. That's good advice, Chuck. See, I'm still struggling with this. I tried to figure it out. I went to a sort of strange voiced small man wearing an elf suit and had him pull some of my teeth. You know, I just wanted to see.
But I got it. I'm just checking. I'm looking at the notes and it said the Rudy Giuliani jokes were in the last section, not in this part. But it sounds like we're bringing up Rudy and all of his characters.
No, this one was Herbie. His name was Herbie. He came on good. It was painful, and the way he didn't use Novocaine, he pushed me off a cliff. So
Wow,
fortunately, I bounced, and so I'm still not sure, I guess is what I'm
that's a
saying.
real cliffhanger.
Yeah. So
Steve, I think I'm hearing where you're coming from. I think we better focus on the letter writer and ask him important questions like, is Burl Ives around
that's
and
a tip.
singing during intermittently?
Mm-hmm.
Are the Hasbro people running commercials in between major moments in your life?
Yeah. Does the plot line feel a little loose? Might be a tip. But I guess in the end, the way you really know if you're in a claymation holiday classic is at the end, does everyone have a painted on smile and are things working out?
Wow. Sounds like my family home movies.
Because then you're not in a claymation classic, you're in a Chuck Roy Super 8, and that's way better.
Right. I enjoy Hershey Park. That's the last good one. After that, my older brother, kind of becomes a dick. And what can you do?
Yeah.
Everything after the Cottonwood Drive season, I just skip.
Well, Chuck, I don't
Move
want to
over
be.
to this show. It's a lot more fun. Steve, I feel like we've answered our reader questions. If we haven't, we'll take a short pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more from this letter to Dear Comics at the Bar. But maybe now's a good time to wheel in Emily Cornelius and the all-star comedy she's got ahead for us.
Yeah, no, that's we will do that after a quick message from Hasbro, where you can buy your own tiny executive desk. And but again, I don't want to be a heat miser here, Chuck. So let me go over to Emily, and we'll see you in a bit.
There's all kinds of fraud. There's all kinds of
it. So this is great. I gotta figure this out. Emily's going to join us, and I hope wherever you are, people are listening around the world, and wherever you are, I hope it's okay.
Do you like toys? Yes, I am a child, and I do have colorful things that almost look like toys. And if you're a listener, then you missed out on just a very 2-star bit.
That's good. I'd even bump it up to 2.5, but I'm easy on the Yelp, I guess. So, Emily, how you doing this week? You doing okay? Do you have a good Black Friday?
I did have a good Black Friday. I am an essential. So, although I could not travel to spend time with my family, if I did have a customer-facing job, I would get to contract COVID from them. So that's kind of nice that the government cares about my landlord.
No, I agree. I mean, I think it's better to catch a disease from a stranger. I mean, there's just a little less, it's just sort of
less emotions involved, honestly.
Yeah.
I just want to get in, get out, kind of like a quick sort of situation. I don't need to know your name. No kissing.
No, I'll just see you later, maybe on the organ donor list or something. Yeah, I like
spit
that.
in my
mouth. So I didn't realize you were a department store Santa, Emily. That's your new gig. Congratulations.
I was a department store Santa. The background checks did kind of cause me to be fired.
That's so unfair. I mean, when when the application itself just asks, do you like having young children sit in your lap? You know, this, I feel like it's kind of a bait and switch situation.
Yeah, there was also a conflict of interest. Who knew that there was just such a legal battle between Easter Bunny and Santa?
Yeah, Easter Bunny. Yeah, you don't go see the Easter Bunny though, do you? Do people do that? I don't even.
Oh, I remember being just an eager little child ready to go to my local grocery store that did have a tree growing inside, to where someone who was good friends with the Easter Bunny stood next to the Easter Bunny, and I sat on the Easter Bunny's lap and we took pictures. Years later, I figured out that my friend's brother was really good friends with the Easter Bunny, and I sat on my friend's brother's lap. And, you know, that's what encouraged me to go into these impersonation careers.
That's a beautiful story, and I alternated between being horrified and or maybe repulsed and just so curious that you had a tree growing in your grocery store. Were the actual Keebler elves up there making the cookies, or how did that work?
Yeah, no, there were the elves there making the cookies. We had that little Lucky Charms leprechaun hanging out. The Fruit Loops toucan hung out on one of the branches. And I think I decided that I wanted to take Spanish while I was sitting in that grocery store cafe.
Oh, that's good. So it was educational. Yeah, and we're being heckled here. Passover's not as creepy as the Easter Bunny. No, I mean, it's just a simple nailing of a dead lamb to your door. I think there's nothing wrong with that. People are doing that anyway, right? I mean, that's just good. That's just good eating.
I think that to kind of show people how much food is important, we should leave a plate open for Elijah all the time. He's hungry. And there are starving kids in Elijah.
There are. You're going to do a little fundraiser for Elijah. That would be terrific.
Yeah. Also, I think that as I was raised super Catholic, and I didn't learn a ton about the Jewish holidays. And I think probably I should have learned less about the Christian ones, considering they're all capitalist.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. I haven't figured out a great way to make money on Ash Wednesday yet. I've been trying. I've got like the briquettes out.
You're not running the fish fry.
Okay.
That's what you got to do. You got to do fish fries, maybe just a vegetarian buffet, because Ash Wednesday you don't eat meat, and then all the Fridays after that, that's guaranteed income for like, what is it, 40 days and 40 nights? Well, at least the Fridays on them.
I love it. So it's like Blue Apron before its time. I didn't realize that was what you're just trying to lock people in to that sort of recurring
Lent
revenue.
meal subscriptions.
I love
I'm into it. Ooh, and you can pick out what you're giving up.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm giving up chocolate. Don't send me anything with chocolate in it, or whatever. Maybe you're giving up something meaningful, like being mean to the less fortunate, which is really hard.
That's hard to wrap too. I don't know. Would you put that on dry ice? I feel like that would be spoiled by the time it got to me.
It's a video package, similar to how they get you into MLMs. That's what being a bully means. You're just in an MLM for the devil.
And yeah.
He's your upline. Well, your mom might be your upline.
Yeah.
That's why you're mean.
So, Emily, I saw you on a great comedy show last night. It was really fun, and I'm going to see you, I think, on New Year's Eve as a Chuck Roy show. And you're on that one, right? We're celebrating New Year's Eve, I think, in Iceland.
We are. I am so excited for my balls to finally drop.
Yeah. No, that's believe me. Yeah, what's that? That's called a bar mitzvah in the other religious tradition, I guess, right?
Have a good New Year. I'm just gonna get what is it? Excommunicated from every single religion in the world. I hope Scientology is first.
No, I mean, I thought it was bad when my own pastor was sort of trying to sell me on other religions, show me the brochures. I just don't. He's saying, like the Buddhists have some great holidays, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm like a rock, I gotta say.
Yeah, I saw my grandpa and his new fiance recently, and I came home a couple weeks later. In the mail, I got 2 books about Jesus.
Two.
So, 2. So I think it was a good trip.
Yeah.
They felt good.
They felt good
And
sending those books.
now I'm selling essential oils for the Lord.
That's good. Another subscription, maybe. So, Emily, I don't want to get too far off track. One of our recurring characters may show up, and I'll be interested, since you grew up Catholic. There's one character that shows up on our show often, medieval monk, and he's in these different situations. He debuted.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah. He showed up first as a medieval monk who works at TGI Fridays. It was just like, may I interest any of you in our 2-for-1 appetizers? But he's coming this week, and I think you could help us.
Okay.
It's a medieval monk helping his friend get through a nasty breakup. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on what that might sound like.
Well, I have been the cause of many a nasty breakup. And I think if I was a monk, if I had to console my friend, I would probably go for the ice cream.
I like that. For sure.
Ice cream and wine. Ice cream and wine in a 90-day fiance marathon. That's what makes you feel good. That's what makes any human feel better about themselves. Watching other people ruin their lives.
I agree. No, and it's even a little more fun from the cloister. So I wanted to ask you though about the Table IPA from the Over Yonder Brewing Company. It's called Please Stay at Your Table. And I don't know, do you have that with you?
I do have it with me. I would love to welcome the listeners into just this auditory experience.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about my lovely speaking voice.
Or your chanting voice. I enjoyed your chanting voice quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I can carry a tune, but it's not the correct one. Incidentally, my very just beautiful voice sounds like velvet. I can only impersonate annoying people. Let's have some ASMR. Shut up, Steve. You're just talking too much. Ew.
Now that was, listeners, you missed a treat there. We got the shot right on the glasses.
That's the money shot. That's what the kids are here for. And this is God telling me that I shouldn't speak ill of anyone.
No, good rule. Good rule. Subscribe to that, at least for 40 days.
All right. So now that we know it's good and carbonated, let's spill it more all over my table. Stay at your table because mine is covered in beer.
Well, that's why I'm outside. I've actually been consigned to outside. I thought it was a pandemic thing. It turns out it's just my wife doesn't really want me inside.
She's been social distancing from you since March. She didn't need a mandate.
No. Actually, our courtship involved a lot of social distancing. It was,
Yeah, I still am wearing a mask in my relationship, and we're on a lease together. Have a beer.
Yeah, have a beer. And so for people listening, it's a lighter in color beer that attracts dogs. But it's delicious. And
Oh, you just have been drinking a lot of it. She's licking it off your pores.
yeah, that's right. So what do you think of this, Emily? Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's just lovely. It's got like a very, very smooth mouth feel. I do see what you mean about it being right in the middle of the bitterness scale,
Right.
where it is pretty middle of the road. This is a very easy to drink beer. I actually really like it.
Well, I do a fair amount of scouting, but I was proud of this one. Over Yonder, really fun place, and as I saw in the comments, it's if you come to Colorado and you're going to Red Rocks, it's right on the way from most places. And
yeah, no, I think it's beautiful. It's in a town called Golden, which is just golden. The color of the beer is golden. And again, the title is Stay at Your Table While You're in Golden at the brewery. Maybe go to Table Mesa, see a natural sight. Can I share a fun fact about Table Mesa?
Yes.
Mesa, in Spanish, for all you gringos, Mesa means table. So we called it Table.
Table. I do like that. I do like that. So, well, where would you, if you could be anywhere at any time, Emily, enjoying a Stay at Your Table IPA, where might that be?
When I was growing up, every single day for dinner, every night for dinner, we had dinner at the table. And by that I mean we got in the car and drove to Table Mesa for dinner time, set up a folding table on Table Mesa. So it was table on table. And that's where I want to go. Back to those just happy memories of every day, putting our table on table, and what I wouldn't give to drink a Stay at Your Table at my table on table.
That sounds perfect. You could even put it on a turntable on the table.
Right. And if you bought that, well, you believed my table fable.
That was beautiful.
I am unable to think of another rhyme.
No, but I love it. Emily, thanks so much for joining us this week and whatever this is. We did it late to sort of, I'm not sure why we did it late, just to see what it was like, and it was fun. Next week might be earlier, and I hope you're going to be able to come back in the next few weeks. Good.
Yeah, let's play it by ear. I'm super excited to come back. Tomorrow I've got a big day. I do have to sign off. I am heading out to Mile High Stadium. I'm just going to wait outside to see if maybe they need some backup for the Bronco team. I'm ready.
Good. I'll be rooting for you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank
Cheers.
you, Emily. All right. And so that was fun. And so I think Emily was really funny on this Christmas show last night, Chuck's show, a grand tradition of dirty Christmas jokes where it lived up to its name, I got to say. So, hey, how are you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing great, Steve. Just having a ball, enjoyed Emily as always. She's so very funny. And I just invested in a Catholic seafood meal kit company called Holy Mackerel. So
yeah, I tried to do something similar when I was in Bombay. I thought I was gonna have like a steaks subscription. I call it Holy Cow, but I was way off on that one. It was
right. Oh, you're really a little sacrilegious right there. That's what you could put the meat in. Your little sacrilegious. religious.
I always wondered what religion holy mackerel was. I mean, you know, holy cow, I get, right? Yeah, I've learned it's a Hindu thing. Some people say holy shit, and I don't know what religion that is, Chuck. I just know I don't want to take communion there, right? I mean, that just sounds awful.
Dairy farmers.
So, Chuck, we're going to move on to the Psycho Penguin Vanilla Porter from the Odyssey Beerwerks, which is in Arvada, Colorado. Another nice place. I found this
gorgeous place.
Store. Yeah,
you know they got light rail there.
They do. I did a comedy show there, but I'm struggling to remember it. I think I was great, but that might have been, I don't know.
Right.
Everyone shared that opinion.
Right. I have similar opinions about Arvada.
So, and boy,
Vanilla Porter, I think I caught him playing the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville.
Vanilla Porter is good. I poured this one horribly. Starting late.
Who am I thinking of? Porter Wagner is who I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay.
That's a good Wikipedia for you kids out there.
Yeah.
You know, you got to know your old country stars and their god-awful suits.
Right. And if you have this really cold, you could have a vanilla ice, which is...
Wow, that's like having a vanilla creamsicle mixed with an adult beverage and tastiness.
And so the porter beer, for people who tune in solely for the information imparted, and whoever you are, I hope you hope you're safe. But
get out your official notebook and decoder ring. Steve's going to tell us about the beer.
So the porter style of beer was a darker malted barley style of beer that became popular in England in the early 1700s, especially among porters and porters who worked at Victoria Station. So this is an homage to that. Those are known for being sort of chocolatey and rich. This has some vanilla in it as well, and I think it's really good, Chuck.
Right. I wonder how we can explain porter to the young people. You know, millennials, imagine somebody hired to carry your messenger bag.
That's right.
But imagine being rich enough to afford more than a messenger bag.
Like a trunk.
Right. Like a messenger. You know, if I could only live in Downton Abbey.
Above, in the upper floors, right? Not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, that's up in the servants' quarters. You know, like a real working man.
Because I know you did a stint on Below Deck on Bravo, and that was just not really the same as Downton Abbey. Different.
No, they really. Yeah, no, they really tugged my boat, those guys.
So, Chuck, I don't know how we're doing on time, but I really wanted to know where you might enjoy a Psycho Penguin from the Odyssey Beerwerks in Arvada, Colorado. Because I know where I would enjoy one.
Steve, you know how often during our rec league hockey games I get into a fight inside the penalty box?
Oh, yeah.
And I gotta say that this would be one of the kinds of beers where, like, drop the gloves and pick up one of these, you know, and then shirt over the head, start popping them up this way. But as I'm popping them, I'm pulling the shirt and I'm sipping the beer. It's a very sophisticated move, like jersey over the eyes and popping, and it's a hint of vanilla.
Sort of a civilized, and there's no more vanilla sport than ice hockey, is there, right?
Right, no. But it is how you describe a lot of comedians and their act.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we know what club you play in Greenwood Village. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, you know, I made that. Steve, I should not say these things. It's about building community. And
oh, absolutely. And Chuck, I mean, I've certainly been accused of being a vanilla comic, so I don't want to
God, no, not you, my friend. That's dark wit mixed with just the right family charm. That's
Quickly wears away during these happy hours, and that's what I want to
that,
do.
Steve, I think we have a fan base, and I don't think they tune in for your vanilla humor.
Good.
I think they get a lot more out of you than that. Steve, this vanilla porter takes me back in time. It sort of carries its own weight, which is surprising. And I wonder, where might you carry on a conversation as you carry about a vanilla porter?
Well, Chuck, it's a great question. When I saw the Psycho Penguin, and I thought about it for a while, the Psycho Penguin vanilla porter, when might I enjoy this? And I think it would be, honestly, the first day at the convent. Because when you are your first day, what you got to
Right.
do at the convent, you find the biggest nun and you kick her ass, right? Because otherwise, it's just you're in for a life of abuse. And
Yeah.
if you could earn the moniker Psycho Penguin, I
Right,
think
right. Yeah. That's what I did when I checked in. And, I just made a real habit out of doing that.
Yeah, you were flying, weren't you? I forgot your stint at the nunnery, Chuck. It was
it was a moment where we all learned. And equal rights are human rights, and I should get right the F out of the nunnery, is I think how they put it. I forget. It was in French, and I think some of those words I'm still not allowed to say on Instagram.
No.
Keep this a family show, Mozedzi.
Yeah, we got to watch the words for sure. Although I got to say, a rosary by any other name is just as sweet.
Right. The tabaret of the tabernacle is what they called me. Steve, you're taking me back to my days when they transferred me over to the friary and all those games of racquetball.
Yeah, those can get competitive, can't they? I mean,
it seems Catholics really just like anything that's like banging your head against the wall.
Yeah.
But what can you do? I made jokes and they forgave me. Now, Steve, I may have asked, and please forgive me if I have, but where would you drink a beer like this vanilla porter?
Chuck, believe it or not, I don't have anything worse to say than being the first day on the nun job. That's where I would have it. That's where I would have it.
So,
I dropped a few elbows, I established myself, the pecking order, as it were. I'm going to get my gruel first from now on. And I would sit back and I'd be selling smokes, in the corner of the cloister.
Incense, lots of incense. That works. Well, what a great place to drink this beer. Every time I hang out with nuns, we tend to end up at a brewery.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I don't mean to make light of them. We're all living a bit of a nun lifestyle lately, and but I do appreciate the time each week, Chuck, to just sort of clown around and say stupid stuff with you.
Right. I feel like after all these jokes we've made, I should be whacking myself with a ruler across the knuckles.
That's right. And believe it or not, I may have just backed into a vow of celibacy over here. So I guess I am living the life here. I am a
right. Steve, if I could ask, how does a medieval monk sound when they're taking their vow of celibacy?
You mean not even on my birthday?
Oh, that's real, man.
That
That's
was a
real.
special part of our ceremony, and I regret singing it. But hey, there were witnesses. So what are you going to do, Chuck?
For real. Well done. A fine impression. Your impressions are really, you're starting to build up a Vegas quality act, my friend.
I resisted doing some of them during your Christmas show, Chuck. It was all I could handle.
You're going to be bigger than Rich Little. I'll tell you that.
I wanted to hear your medieval monk consoling his friend through a tough breakup. I don't know if you have that impression in your repertoire.
Oh, okay. It goes like this. Oh, you're so much hotter than her. He was a dirtbag anyway.
Now we can finally confide in you about that strange odor.
Right. Isn't that like during a breakup, all your friends start coming up to you telling you what they didn't like about the person, then you get back together with them, and everybody's like,
That's right. How about Chuck, like medieval monk, consoling you through a difficult birthday breakup, rather, but he's not really a good friend. How would that one go?
oh, right. Hey, can I get her phone number?
Oh man, that guy gets around, and I love it because we don't. But
Right.
Chuck, what did you think of the 8 o'clock? Should we keep doing this, or we might go back to 5? I think.
I enjoy both, Steve. We could let the nice folks decide in the comment section.
Yeah.
We've had an ample amount of comments tonight. It looks like some new folks joined us.
Yeah.
And let's, let the data analytics tell us, there's probably some sort of report we can run.
Yeah, we'll put it on a table and drink a table beer and figure it out.
Right, and then a team of lawyers is going to come and say we didn't have any viewers.
No, that's right. And I've just been informed that the show didn't take place at 8. Chuck, there was a temporary injunction that was granted, and this show actually occurred 3 days ago.
Right. Those Dominion time machines are working again.
Right. So,
well, Steve, what we'll do is, on Thursday, I know Thursday or Friday, you generally like to make a post and tell us where and when we'll be drinking. So what do you say? You take a few days, ponder, and we'll make a pledge on Thursday as to where we're going to be on Saturday and what time. I think that sounds...
Okay, that sounds good. And wherever you are, stay safe. Stay at the table, and some of my comic friends are going to be joining us in the near future. I've been getting some messages. If you're one of the comics I've ever worked with, feel free to shoot a message. We'd love to have you. There's not as much to do right now, and this is one of the safer things that at least is fun. So wherever you are, have a great week next week.
Well, Steve, I found a kosher service for Lenten meals. It's called Goister. So you can order that, and they'll send you. I don't know that. I wish maybe I hadn't said that one.
No, I don't. I'm glad. Although Augie was a little alarmed. He
a fine Augie Doggy sighting to end the show. That's terrific. Well, thanks for the beers, man. Great to see you. Cheers, Emily. So funny. Stacy, great to see you again.
Yeah.
And see you tomorrow at the Apocalypse.
At the Apocalypse, and thanks to Odyssey Beerwerks and over Yonder. You're making great stuff. Take care, everybody.
Oh yeah, good. Thank you.